After the Israelites crossed the Red Sea, God had Moses lead them to Mount Sinai. God had Moses go up the mountain where he met with him to give him some special rules. These rules would explain how people should worship God and get along with each other. The first rule was, do not worship any other gods. God made everything, and we should only worship Him. The second rule was, do not make any idols. Since God made everything, we don't need a statue or a picture to worship. Everything that's already been made was made by God. The third rule was, do not misuse God's name. God's name is special. He's our helper and He's our boss, and we shouldn't use His name when we're angry or upset or as a joke. The fourth rule was, keep the Sabbath holy. We need one day each week which we set apart to rest and worship God. The first four of the Ten Commandments, do not worship any other gods, do not make any idols, do not misuse God's name, and keep the Sabbath holy, help people understand how they should relate to God. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm here with Carl, and we just saw that video.
And me.
Oh, yeah.
You like my new do?
Forgot about. Yeah,
I'm pointy now.
I love your pointy do.
Pointy.
We just watched about the first four of the Ten Commandments, and I was going to have Carl kind of explain them to me.
Explanation time.
So, when you explain them, just make sure that you give us the full taunt.
Got it. Explanation time.
Okay, ready. So, Carl, tell us, Commandment 1 was, you shall have no other gods before me. What does that mean?
It means you should not worship any other god that's not God. It's really simple.
Okay.
Correct! Like, I should not worship...
$200.
Like, I should
Yes,
not...
this is the opposite of Jeopardy.
Oh, my
Like,
goodness.
I should not worship you. Adam, get up here. I should not worship you.
Yes, don't worship Adam. That would not be... Adam, what happened? Did you get into a fight with a blender or something? Your glasses are messed up. Okay. So, anyway... Carl... so you shouldn't worship anything but God. That was the first thing. Definitely don't worship anything but God. The second thing was you shall not make for yourself an image. What?
Yeah. So, get that for me. It's over there.
Get something. Forget it.
Get some... Just get it...
What thing?
Just get a non-living object. Yes. This will do.
This is Mr. People. Say hello.
He is a statue.
Hello, Mr. People.
I should not worship this because it's not a real person.
Well, and even
You
more...
shouldn't worship a real person anyway.
Yeah, you shouldn't worship people or images of people. We don't need a picture of the idea of God to worship. We don't need...
And in case you wanted to know, worshiping is glorifying something with all your heart and soul.
Yes,
Make
that's
it number
perfect.
one.
Make it number one.
You don't need a picture of the Last Supper to worship Jesus.
You don't need a picture of Jesus to worship Jesus. There are actually some people that think that that commandment means we shouldn't make any pictures of Jesus ever. I don't know where I'm on that, but I know that I don't worship a picture of Jesus. I worship God who made everything. He's everywhere. I don't, I made in His image. You're almost sorry, buddy, but I recognize the glory of God in His creation, and I don't need a picture of God to worship Him. The third one was, do not misuse the name of the Lord your God. Can you tell us about that, Carl?
Adam, go away.
Adam, go away.
Adam.
Yes?
Wait, never mind. Adam.
What?
Never mind.
Wait, why do you keep calling Adam?
That's one of
An example, probably.
Yeah, that's an example of one of the... And then, I was walking down the street, and then I saw something that was, furry and ugly, and, that's an Adam.
Oh, hey, whoa, hey, no fighting on the show! Fighting on the show! Okay, no fighting, all right.
It's an example.
Okay, it's an example. What's the other, what else do you mean? What's an example?
Let's see. Oh, yeah, I would eat Chick-fil-A and no cupcakes, and ask for cupcakes and no cupcakes and
Adam, back up. Yes, nobody likes it when you misuse their name. So we shouldn't use God's name as a joke. We shouldn't use God's name
in order to express anger, or we shouldn't call on God when we aren't interested in talking to God. We should keep God's name special, and because we're made in God's image, we should also not use other people's names to say mean things or express anger. And what about the last one was
Remember the Sabbath by keeping it holy.
it was. So what's a Sabbath?
The Sabbath.
Used
Yes.
to be Saturday. Now
Yes.
it's Sunday.
Well, did the Sabbath change, or do Christians not really celebrate the Sabbath? What's the story on that? Okay, so let me explain.
Glasses.
Let me explain, Adam. Oh, your glasses. I'm serious. What are you doing over there? Okay.
Finding a blender.
So fighting a blender.
I am. It's a silent blender.
It's a silent blender. So anyway, the Sabbath was a time that was set apart to worship God, and Jewish people celebrated it from sundown on Friday to sundown on Saturday. We, as Christians, don't traditionally do that.
We just do it on Sunday.
We worship on Sunday because why?
The
Why
blender!
do we worship on Sunday? His glasses fell off. Hold on.
I can't see.
Oh, goodness.
Where did you go?
Okay, stop messing with the. Okay,
Stop fighting a blender.
okay, we're almost there. It's it. All right. So, we worship God on the day that Jesus rose from the dead. So we choose that day as our day to worship God because of. But there's also a really important thing. Like, we shouldn't work every day, should we?
No.
We should take time off
We should take a break. on the
and
weekends.
Buy blenders.
and not just
And
not
fight
just-
blenders.
No, not fight them or buy them. That's
Why
not
not
what the
buy them?
Sabbath is for.
Why not buy blenders?
Okay, so hey, we should take some time though to worship God and rest because God rested on the Sabbath. That's why we also are supposed to rest. And we should take some time to rest. We should definitely take time to focus on God because He should be number one. Really, the first four of the Ten Commandments are about how God should be number one.
Number uno. Nombre uno.
He's the one we worship.
Nombre uno.
We aren't going to make any other images to worship.
Number
And we're not even really
uno.
going to make images of Him to worship.
If you speak Spanish,
Let's do
nombre
it just
uno.
do it.
I don't know if that's Spanish. Also, Carl has no language training.
Nombre uno.
I do.
So anyway, if you have
What do you mean?
just Adam,
I
push,
speak
push.
owl.
Hey, guess what else? If you're in the third commandment is we don't misuse God's name because God's name is powerful and special to us.
Nombre uno.
And the fourth one is we take time
What
out.
was the Jesus? I said that wrong.
Yes,
What's the Jesus?
stop. And we take time
Is that not
every
speaking
week to
Spanish?
worship God. Hopefully you take some time when you watch this video and you're spending time learning about Jesus,
And
but
learning
also
Spanish so you can.
Also,
no,
What?
God.
what I said is
We're-
also God in
Focus
Spanish.
on God.
Also Jesus in Spanish.
Don't focus on anything else.
Yes, focus on us.
We're having a focus issue today. Stop. Okay, so back up. Hold still. Puppets freeze.
What do you
Okay,
mean? What
so-
do you mean puppets?
You guys,
Huh?
you didn't know you were puppets?
We're not puppets.
Oh, it's a real owl. I'm sorry, owls freeze.
Okay.
So
And
anyway,
coyote.
And coyotes.
No insulting Carl.
That's right. Don't insult
Uh,
Carl. Don't insult anyone.
see.
Hey guys, make sure that we put God first, and that's the main point of. Now next week we're going to talk about what comes second. The second part of the Ten Commandments is about something
My
else.
attention span
So-
has vanished.
Guys, we have a great week. Focus on God. Have a good one. Bye. Hey, if you love the graphics that you saw at the front of this video and the cool little Bible characters, this is where we got them. We got them from Narciso Evaristo and his awesome Etsy shop, Smart Arts for Kids. So feel free to check that out. It's a lot of great work, a lot of great stuff for school or for church.